Now, the first thing to think about when preparing to ask questions is that there is a strategy to questioning. You know, you can't ask the wrong question at the wrong time or the right question at the wrong time. So there is a strategy to questioning to accomplish the most in the shortest amount of time. And we're going to begin with questions should be focused on things that are relevant and important to the customer. Business type things. What's important? Business intelligence, which is around the goods. Goals, objectives, obstacles, desires, success metrics. It's the things that the customers care about that drive their business. That leads to where you've earned the right to ask more sensitive questions, which are around why things are important. The compelling gap type questions. The drivers. You know, the compelling gap type questions are sensitive. They're a little more painful. They're better left and asked after you've already uncovered what's important, because then it becomes just a natural extension of the first questions. And then finally, the most sensitive questions are the people questions. The power and influence questions. Power and influence questions have to be asked very carefully at the right time. Okay, what can happen in a selling situation if I ask somebody a people question, meaning, hey, who makes the decisions on this stuff? Right at the beginning of the conversation.
There could be take offense that you're disregarding their role and importance.
That's correct. So there's a lot of risk in asking people power questions and influence questions the wrong way and at the wrong time. And so most people either ask it wrong and suffer the consequences, or they don't ask at all. And so we have lots of holes in our strategy and how we sell to people because we're missing critical information. So part of this whole thing is just start thinking about it in terms of strategy. I need to get the goods, so I need to know what's important. Then I need to understand why it's important, and I need to understand who it impacts and how it affects various people in the organization, which helps me plug all the holes. I get the what, the why, and the who, all in a natural sequence of asking questions that are relevant, and I've earned trust along the way. So if I say, you know, Eric, as you look at your purchasing strategies around electronic components and the things we do, from a big picture perspective, what are the most important things to you as you think about your relationship with your suppliers? Inventory, and you're going to give me a bunch of answers. So you know, as you think about inventory and some of those other things, why is that important to you, and how does that impact your business and your ability to satisfy the needs of your customers? Now, but you see how I just went from, well, you told me what was important, now I want to know how it affects you and your customers. So it's an easier question to ask. Now, Eric, so as it impacts your customers, and there's some negative implications, positive implications, as you look at your organization, who are some of the people that are impacted, maybe from an operational perspective, and the way it impacts their jobs, and or maybe from an executive perspective, and the way they make decisions, and what are some of those impacts to them? So now it's like who and what. It's a natural extension. I'm not asking who's the decision maker above you. I'm just asking a natural extension question from, you told me it was important, you told me why it was important, and I'd like to know who it's important to and why, so I can make sure, what? That we address all that for you. Now you look at me as helping you look good across the whole organization, as opposed to I'm trying to get around you. Very subtle way of handling this that can make you either very successful, or you can create barriers, trust goes down, and nothing opens up for you. So there's a lot to this, but the basics are there's a sequence, a strategy, and there's a way of asking questions to get you to that outcome very quickly. And we'll work through all this together over the next 6 weeks. Right? It's not fair to think that we're going to get together for a couple hours and we're going to, if we haven't already mastered the most critical competencies of successful sales professionals, that we can expect this to happen in a few hours, right? It just wouldn't be appropriate. But over a 4 to 6 week period, working together in a collaborative environment, sharing with each other, this is going to happen.